Oh, no, I thought we were just looking at your stuff. Okay,
Well,
how
we
are we
can.
gonna? Oh wait, so we're not gonna see something on the screen here?
Oh, yes, you are. Aren't you seeing it?
Yeah. Yeah. So if I'm in my Google Analytics, then I'm not gonna see what's on the screen. Are you saying log into Google Analytics on our other computer here?
Well, if you're logging in, that's okay, but it's more you'll remember it if you actually push buttons. So if you have a separate computer, open up the separate computer into Google Analytics.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because what we want to do is show you how to navigate stuff and see where things are.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And like how to read it, the stuff that we navigate through.
Okay.
And we're also recording, so that'll help as well. So.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. Hey, Michelle, are you on? Michelle was going to join us separately, but do I just go to googleanalytics.com or I don't
Yep,
even
Google.
know?
Just search Google Analytics, and it'll give you analytics and log in. Then you use the Don's email address plus the password without caps that you sent me yesterday.
Yeah. Don at dcranchhomes.com. At 1. Okay, we're in.
All right, so you probably see AZ Golf, DC Ranch, and Scottsdale real estate, right?
Yes.
All right, so I have more going on here because these are the different people I'm working with or worked with, that sort of thing. So,
Okay, can I mention one thing?
sure.
Oh yes, you're gonna try to do that. So I don't know. I haven't told Tyler this, but we've decided we're going to renovate DCRanchHomes.com first,
Okay.
not AZ Golf Homes,
Okay.
because we think AZ Golf Homes actually looks, a little bit more up to date, anyways, than DC Ranch Homes. So we just would rather, go with that one first, and then I think that's going to be a pretty simple renovation because it's such a micro site.
Right.
And then AZ Golf Homes, it doesn't need as much content and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll probably knock that one out pretty quickly because I got my duns here that are creating all this awesome content and
Yep.
amazing speed.
Yeah, we like quick
and then we'll do AZ Golf Homes.
I'm sure he'll get right to work. He just, just tell him what to do, and he's sitting out here looking at me and says, "What do I do, Bill? What do I do?" And
Yeah,
I said they're blondes. What can I say?
Yeah, thank you.
No, from one blonde to another. Okay.
Yeah, we had a blonde.
All right. So your question is basically just what to look at in Google Analytics, right?
Yeah, so if we want to start thinking about, okay, we're going to revamp, DC Ranch Homes and then AZ Golf Homes, shouldn't we start by looking at the existing site and seeing, is there anything about it that's actually working?
Well, yeah, we've done that before. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We briefly touched on that when we were there with you, and but not. I didn't feel like it was in any kind of depth, and I don't maybe remember it too much.
Okay. Well, so I'm a little bit callous to appearance, and I don't mean to be, but I have found that I can get results on white vanilla templates.
Yeah.
But you guys are in a business where you have to have an appearance factor.
Yes.
But for the most part, as far as performance concerns, the appearance is just aesthetics.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes just pardon the expression, we call it polishing a turd. And all we're doing is shining things up, and we're not really getting anything for it.
Right.
And so you have to decide what's an important look for you and what's not. What is detracting? There are two critical components. One is to be found. Two is to have people do something after they get there.
Okay.
And anything that detracts from being found, and clutter will do that because it slows down it slows the download down, and it makes the website perform poorly because you got this social media plug-in and you've got this call to action, and you've got this phone number display, and you got this contact us now widget, blah blah blah. So anything that inhibits the performance of being found is something I'm going to discourage, but it's still up to you. You want to be found, and then when people are on the website, you want them to have a pleasant experience.
Right.
And so pleasant is these days is minimalistic. We've seen Google, we've seen Facebook, we've seen LinkedIn all go. I don't know how long you've been using browsers, but we've seen browsers do that. They started off with Netscape and then Internet Explorer. They kept adding crap to it until people didn't know how to use the browser anymore. Now they've gone complete full circle, and there's like 3 things you can do when you get on Google Chrome.
Right.
And so it has to be as simple as it possibly can be, because more and more people are using it, and we love people, but they're dumb and they don't know what to do when you give them too many options.
Right. Or it's a paradox of choice. If they've got too many options, then
Exactly. You give people 3 things to do, and they won't do anything. You give 2 of them, and maybe some people will do half of that. You give them 1 thing to do, and half of the people will do that.
right.
And so what you want to do is you want to have a super clean, experience that downloads as quickly as possible. So, and you want to have a crystal clear call to action so people know what to do when they get there. And then you want to tell them to do that. Say, click here, fill in this, call me now, or something like that. Because you have performance happening here, we're just not getting conversion.
Right.
And so we want to, it doesn't do any good to improve performance if we're not improving conversion.
Yes.
All right,
That's
so
why we work to improve conversion.
Right. So if I were you, I'd get your team together and I'd pound on that. How can we make this so simple that people know exactly what we want them to do after they're here?
Right. That's what we want to do. Simple.
Simple, simple, simple. So that being said, here's your DC Ranch. I have more, but this is what you see, right?
Yes.
All right. So we click on DC Ranch, and you can do this in your other computer and oh, look at that. We got information. Oh, it's fun when you have numbers to play with. People who say numbers don't matter don't have any numbers.
Right.
Right? It's like when you go to church, we don't care how many people show up, we want to do a good job. That's because no people are showing up. So inside here, what you're looking for is where people are coming from. This is unique visitors, and then you're looking for page views. This ratio is important. We're getting 4 plus pages visited per visit. The higher that number, the better, because that's an indication of how good your stuff is. Now, each site has a different function. You guys, as realtors and with images, ought to have a higher page per session rate than somebody who does news.
Okay.
If they're just saying news, people, here's an answer to a question. Well, they're not going to keep turning the pages because they just want the answer. But this is a good number here, 4 point. And so over time, you're going to want to see this maybe climb, but you don't want it to go down too much. Now,
Right.
it's a bit of a paradox here, because the more pages people are looking at, that shows they like what they see. Oh, this is cool. I want to see something else here. Oh, this is good. I want to see something else here. But if this number gets too high, and what's too high, I don't know the answer. That means they're just flipping through and looking at stuff, and they're not making a decision.
Right.
So 4 or 5 pages per visit, that's good. They've come, they've saw this Lakeview home, they've clicked through these 4 different pictures. Okay, now do something. Do something.
Right.
And so you don't want them just, flipping around. Another good indicator is watching this, what's called bounce rate here.
Okay.
Bounce rate is how many people come to your page and then leave immediately. The higher that number is, the poorer the site. So if this was like 95%, for example, that would mean 95% of the people who come to your website didn't want to be there. They came by accident, or they saw something they didn't like it, and so they left immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So the higher that number, the poorer the performance. So these are 2 very good indicators.
Mm-hmm.
How many pages per session, and the lower this number, the better. 40%, that's a good rate. That is a good rate.
Well, these numbers, so what is this? Is this a month's worth of sessions?
No, this is the last month, exactly.
This is the last month. And how
Right,
do I
you can
know that?
you can look up here and see the date.
Okay.
And so you can go back and you can compare last month to the month before, or the previous 30 days to the 30 days before that. See how you do that?
Why can't we do like a whole month? Why are we doing the 20th to the 20th?
Well, because it's the last 30 days.
Oh, I see. Okay, last 30 days.
But
Yeah.
since you're such a wise person, you want to, let's compare April to April and compare that to March. I can do that.
Okay.
See how I did it? There's my start date, there's my end date, and I can compare it to the month.
1 to May 20th or whatever. Okay.
Now I can also compare it to a year ago at the same time.
Oh,
But wait, you need to click on the 30th because you're still comparing it to
Well,
May.
I'm not going to try and do the exact
Okay.
same thing. I'm just trying to get the concept down. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, see how, so you can pick the periods that you want to compare. So we can compare summer to summer, quarter to quarter, right? So I can go back and there's my start. I'm in my start date. I can go back to January 1st through March 31st. Whoops, I missed the button. January 1st to March 31st of this year. That's what and I can look at how we've done in the first quarter, depending on what your year is. And I can compare that to the last quarter of last year, for example. From October to December, well, you didn't have Google Analytics installed, so you're not going to get much there.
Okay. Oh, we
But
just installed it? February?
Well, apparently, that's what it looks like here. But, so let's go back. Let's go from, but you can see here already from February, this is what you were getting, right? Now look how it's already better.
Yeah.
So let's go from February. Let's just take a 2-month period. So it's fun to play with this after you've got numbers to play with. So there's from February to March. That's a 2-month this year compared to the 2 months before that. And you're already over and above what you were doing. So I can see that the number of visitors I have, right, the number of visitors is up by 50%. For 2 months I have 3,000, and now it's almost 5,000. Users are up, page views are up. That's all. See, those are all good. The pages per session are up, not very much, but it's still up. And then the bounce rate has climbed as well. So these are numbers that you can play with that when you want to start making comparisons. But you have to have a history to compare.
I'm not understanding these green numbers.
So green is up, red is down.
Right, but what period is that?
Oh, so the period here is I'm comparing February, March to December, January.
Yeah.
So
So what does 50.79% mean? That it's up that many sessions since?
All right, so and from December 4th to January 31st, I have a 59-day period because February only has 28 days. So I have a 59-day period. During the 59-day period of December to January, you had 3,000. I'm sorry, we'll go 2,500 visitors.
Okay.
And then the next 2-month period, comparing 2 months to 2 months, you had 3,900 visitors. Well, that's 1,400 more, right? It jumped by 1,400. Well, that 1,400, if I took 1,400 and divided it by 2578, it would be 51%.
Okay.
It's just giving you a percentage of increase.
So nothing new happened on the website in that time, on that website in that time. So I think what was going on is it just more traffic due to just the market is always picks up in the new
year. So you got more market, you get more content perhaps.
Yeah, I mean our blogger was blogging once a week or something on that site, something around that. So yeah.
But see, if we compared it to the previous year, I don't think you had anything installed there, so there's nothing to compare. Oh, you do. What's that?
Oh, we did?
We do. How's that? So February 1st of 2013 to March of 2013.
Okay.
So we compare last year to this year. Look at the difference.
Mm-hmm.
We can drive better traffic now that we know how to actually
blog. Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so last year, in February and March of last year, which is your New Year period, you had 1,700 visitors. This year you got 4,700.
Wow. Too bad
That's almost
website totally ran. Yeah. Exactly.
And the pages are being viewed by 200% better. Look at that. So it's you're heading in the right direction. You just need to be able to get these people to act.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And you'll get better engagement in the long run because people are going to be more specific.
So this is basically your basic analytics page right here. That we're really looking at very basic stuff right now.
Yep. We're just comparing date to date, visits to visits.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're just really looking at sessions and page views and all that kind of stuff.
Right. So I got the first quarter, the blue is the first quarter of this year compared to the first quarter of last year.
Interesting.
And so around in March, see how March things get busy? That's when things are busy, right?
Yeah.
Well, so you can see this March how it's performing better than last March.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
this,
it wasn't a dramatic increase like the other year was.
well, it depends what you think dramatic. I think that's pretty dramatic. You know,
No, but I
March
mean,
is,
like, no, the previous year went up dramatically in March compared to before that, and I think, yeah. But there wasn't a dramatic change over the first quarter of this year, is all I'm saying. It was pretty steady.
well, see, we can do that. We can take a look if you want to look at that. And we'll just go through January 1st. Nope, not so dramatic. But it's still very obviously has an upward climb, right?
Yeah, it has been improving though.
Yeah,
It's
so
improved over last year for sure.
it's improved over last year, and it still has an upward trend.
Yeah. I think that bounce up last year was just due to the market. It had nothing to do with anything we were doing on the website, because I'm not even sure if she was blogging then, to be honest with you.
Well, but if you had
the new content is helping.
Yeah.
There's no question.
we can go back. I don't know how far. We'll go back to 2 years.
Would you almost rather be steady, like have really good like rates all the way through and not?
See, this is what it looks like from 2 years ago. So when I compare 2012 to 2014, and see, way back here you had almost nothing going on.
Wow.
But so 2 years ago compared to, but here's how you do this.
Yeah.
So this is what the whole analysis thing is. You go here and you just play with the dates, and you can compare whatever you want to compare to.
Right.
So the previous period. So if I choose 3 months, it'll take the 3 months before those 3 months. And if I want to do year, I can do the year before, or I can do custom. I can pick the dates I want to compare.
Sure. That
And
makes
so
sense.
those are fun to play with. And so what we're looking for here, is we want user to grow, we want page views to grow, we want pages per session. See, this dropped really a lot because they were looking at 9 pages per, I don't know. And so now it's down to 3 pages. So this, you get a baseline after a while of what works.
Right.
And so if we remove the comparison, we'll just go back to current. So in the past 3 months, this is what you got, 2.8 per session, blah, 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 19. So just write those numbers down, record them, keep them, and know what they are, and then you have something to compare to.
Right. But that data is always going to be there in the line graph though, right?
Right. So you can go look for them. And so here's, while we're looking at this Google Analytics, we see returning visitors. You know, blue is new people, so we want to continually see new people coming, and then we want people to keep coming back. That's important to us.
Right.
This is people who've been here before and they're coming back and checking again.
Right.
Now, what's a good number, what's a bad number? We don't know that because it's going to be unique to every website. So I mean, if you get 99% new people and nobody ever comes back, that's not good.
That's probably not a good thing, especially if it's a resource for everything DC Ranch.
Right, exactly. So you want people bookmarking that and coming there and looking at that. So it'll be different for each of your websites. So it'll be different for each one of your websites, for Scottsdale Real Estate, for AZ Golf, and that sort of thing. But so that's, the audience overview. We're looking at that. Now, there's a bunch of numbers that instead of us going through this one by one, you can pick out which ones are important to you. You can go to demographics and see where people are coming from. This is your age group. Now, you don't have a super big number, so it's not going to really tell you anything. I seldom go there until I have lots of big numbers to play with. Geo is important to you.
What do you mean we don't have a super big number of what?
Well, you don't have like tens of thousands or 20s of thousands per day.
Oh, I see.
But see, we're in the geolocation. That's important to us, right? So this is my audience overview. I go to the geography. I don't care what language they're talking. I want to go what location they're in. And I can see people are coming from the United States. Well, that's good. Well, look at this. People from Canada and Brazil and Mexico are searching as well. That's interesting. I wonder why. I don't know. But we can go to United States, and it'll break it down by states. Well, interesting. So many people from Arizona. Well, duh, right? Because we're in Arizona.
Yeah.
But I can also see, look how many people from California have visited my site. That's
Right.
interesting to know.
And,
And then Nevada, Georgia, and so these are all the other people who are stumbling upon you for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
that's really interesting. That
And
was
so,
under
audience,
geo.
geo, and location.
Yeah.
And I think
Okay.
it'll even break it down even more. I can go to Arizona and it'll tell me, oh, look at all the people where they're coming from in Arizona: Phoenix, Scottsdale, Tempe, Mesa, blah blah blah. Right?
Wow.
And then what I'm really interested in, well, look at all the people in California and in Texas who are thinking about moving there, or Nevada who are thinking about moving here. Well, let's go to California and find out where they're coming from. Bay Area. The LA area, right?
Wow.
Look at that. They're Los Angeles. Look at all the people in Los Angeles who are thinking about moving to Arizona.
Wow.
So now if I were a writer, I would start aiming toward those people, wouldn't I?
Right.
You know, want to get out of the LA smog and come out here into the cowboy land or whatever? I don't know. But here you get a specific group of people that you know are interested in you because they're searching and finding you.
And then you start maybe blogging to them.
Yep, log into those
Topics
people.
that might be of interest to them.
Right. See, you don't care about Irvine and Newport Beach or whatever. But, you know, these Los Angeles is the biggest, San Francisco. These are four very big numbers here.
Yeah.
But you can tell who is interested in the DC Ranch area from these searches by geolocation.
Right.
And you'll have those same phenomena when you go to Scottsdale and to AZ Golf as well.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how they differ from each other
Right.
too.
And so those numbers are important, I think. Now there's other stuff you can play.
Is there a way to print these as reports?
I'm sorry? Can't hear.
Is there a way to print these as reports?
Yeah, probably. I've never done it before because we live in California. We're trying to save the trees.
Yeah, right.
We don't print. We don't print stuff. We get in trouble when we do that.
I guess why I would maybe want to print it is because this is only a certain time period.
Yeah. Well, if you want to print it, just take a screenshot.
Data? Yeah.
You know,
How will I capture this information if I want to look at it changing over time?
Well, the way you would do that change over time, you do your comparison shop. You do your comparison here. So we can go back to last year.
Yeah.
And apply the same filter. So I'm comparing 14 to 13. So last year, look at that, Los Angeles. Last year only 50 people during the same time period. From Los Angeles this year, 250 people.
Wow.
So it's 5 times as many people from Los Angeles are searching this year as compared to last year.
California taxes, you're really helping us out.
Yeah.
Yay.
So, but that's an interesting number there, right?
Yeah.
And look at San Francisco. It's 4 times as many. The people from San Francisco are now searching.
Coronado.
Yeah,
Wow.
Coronado. Help, get me out of here.
We all go to Coronado in the summer. I didn't realize they were looking to come here. That's funny. I'm not one of those lucky people, but
I love
Right.
Coronado.
So that's how you can do that. And if there's probably a print function. There it is, export probably. And you can export it to whatever, to a
Okay.
PDF. There you go. Right?
okay. Yeah, we can play with that.
Just don't tell anybody in California you did that.
You're
'Cause,
right.
then they won't come. They'll say, there's people wasting paper out there.
Yeah.
So audience, so overview, and location, I think are important numbers. We don't care whether they came from a Mac or a PC. Who cares, right? We don't really
Yeah.
care whether they came via mobile or not. All we care is whether people come or not. But we can know that stuff.
The website's going to be mobile optimized, right? So.
Yep, it's called responsive is the word.
Yeah.
Responsive is the word, which means, no, the websites are responsive, means they can react to whatever device they're being displayed on.
I see. Okay.
Whether it might be a tablet for that matter, like a 7-inch tablet, a 10-inch tablet, iPad mini, mobile, little tiny iPhones, Droid, Samsungs, that sort of thing. They call that responsive. So it will be responsive.
Okay, great.
Okay. So those, I think, are good numbers to know.
Yeah.
I mean, good places for you, for your writers. We go to acquisition. So all I'm doing is, so I'm going to get rid of audience. Now I'm going to go to acquisition, and I want to see, where people are coming from. Now, this is important to me. I don't care about anything. I just want to know that organic is climbing. Now, you're getting a good mobile. This is m.facebook. This is, people are following you on their mobile phones on your Facebook account.
Yeah. Well, we're doing.
Very sorry. Hope I didn't destroy your. Thank you.
We were doing Facebook ads for a while, and then we stopped them at the beginning of April, like April 6th-ish.
Okay.
So,
You stopped on April
and I know it
6th.
was driving. We figured this out when we were visiting with you that yes, it was driving traffic, but
No, it wasn't converting.
it wasn't converting. It was like an 88% bounce rate or something like that.
Yeah. Well, let's look at that. See, 84%. Exactly.
Okay.
So 84% of people who came via their ads, didn't do anything, right? And they looked at maybe 1.2 pages. So what that means is they saw the page.
Yeah.
And then 16% of them actually turned the page, and then nothing else happened.
Right.
But when we look at the Google organic search and compare that, it's 41%. That's good. And it's 5 times as many pages are being looked at.
Yeah.
Well, if that's not a clear indicator of engagement, I don't know what is.
Right. What does direct mean?
Hang on to that. And so here again, beating Facebook over the head, they're spending an average of 33 seconds on your website, whereas via search, they're spending an average of 4 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so that's a big difference.
Right.
Okay, direct. Direct is when people come to you directly because they know that you exist and they want to go there. They bookmark you for one reason or another. And it's also you and your writers going there yourself.
Oh, of course.
But it's not that different. So it's 39, 40, 5, 6 pages, and the time on the site is about the same.
So
new session.
Every time we look at our blog that we're writing, we refresh it and look at it for real on the website. We're actually creating a visit.
Yeah, you'll create a visit, but see, that's why we're looking for new users and new sessions.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
But I mean, that's good. That's good if we're like generating traffic on our own website. I know, but it'll still like make it higher. Will it make it higher up in the?
No.
Never mind.
No. So this is just measuring how many people are coming to our website. So if half the people are us writing our blogs and checking them, that's not so good. We're gonna skew the results. But that's okay.
Right. Okay. So we want to see this number climb is what we want to see.
Yeah.
When we compare this against whatever, we want to see that climb. So if we compared it again last year, right? It's got to be up, right? We know it's going to be up but look at organic. So Facebook, because you were paying for it, but your organic traffic is more than double what it was last year.
Right.
Right. So it was 600 last year, 13. So next year we want to see this 2,700 or whatever. We want to keep. We don't know what it's going to be because we don't know the size of the market. We just want to make sure it keeps growing.
Right. Organic means just based on someone searching.
Yep. Organic means you didn't do nothing. It did it all by itself.
Yeah. Just based on our search.
Yep. Just based on people putting words in the search engine box and showing up. So this is a number I like to see because then I know whether my bloggers are doing a good job or not.
Yeah. That's great.
All right, so here is keyword rant. This is keywords. This is last year. This is the words that people are using as far as to let us know. Now, if you have $150,000, we can get more information.
So, oh yeah, right. So you guys see that first thing? They're not providing where a whole bunch of our stuff is coming from because you actually have to buy a business account, which is $150,000 to get that information.
That's
But they're
unreal.
giving us all the rest, which is,
They don't tell you your biggest one. That's
Yeah.
such a pain.
But here are some words: DC Ranch Homes for sale, DC Ranch Homes. But that's not tremendously insightful.
but that makes
Really?
sense that that's what would be coming.
Yep, DC Ranch Village, DC Ranch, DC. Yep, look at DC Ranch Country Club Homes for sale. Those are all good words to know.
Yeah,
It's DC Ranch Real Estate because that's not anywhere on.
yeah. I bet
Oh.
when people search on DC Ranch Real Estate, they're not coming to us. They're getting other results.
Or that could be our number one.
And they're not telling. Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. That could be our number one.
that might be.
You know what I think you should do, Jenny?
Yeah.
Thinking.
Jenny, I think you should pony up $150,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that anyway.
We'll just guess. We'll just guess.
Well, you don't. You know what? I don't think you have to guess because nobody knows your market better than you do.
Yeah.
It's a fundamental gut check. You talk about DC
Yeah.
Ranch, and when you talk about it, you know what questions people are asking. That's what they're asking. I don't need a robot to tell me that.
Right.
You can pay $150,000 to have a robot confirm what you already know.
Right.
You see, where it breaks down is when we don't listen to our gut. We want people to be interested in this is what we're telling when we know that's what they're asking us.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go to your networking event, when you're sitting around at your business networking, blah, blah, whatever, when you're eating lunch with whomever and they ask you questions, that's what they're asking. And that's what the search terms are looking for. Remember, there are 3-word, 4-word, 5-word phrases that describe what goes on in DC Ranch.
Right.
So there is no secret there. It's just, Google trying to make money, which is fine. They're a .com. They should make money for whatever they provide. But I think you know what the answer is, what that not provided is, because you live and breathe it. And if you don't know that, pardon the bluntness, if you don't know that, you're a lousy realtor. But you do know. Just, get a pencil and paper out, and when you talk to people, create a sensitivity to, they just asked me these 6 questions. As soon as you, pay the lunch bill, write down those 6 questions and hand them to your bloggers.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah.
The questions they're asking you are the same questions they're asking you online, except they have a real person in front of them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so anyway. So we don't have to worry about what we don't know, because we can tell people what they want to know, and we have a really good idea what it is anyhow.
Right.
So what we really care about is, does this Google organic number keep climbing? And as long as that's climbing, we know that we're satisfying queries.
Right.
Does that make sense? So that's all I pay attention to in this overview. I mean, you can piddle around with the rest of these things, and what you're doing is piddling. All you want to know is I'm answering questions. Now here's, behavior is a good one, because I can get, the not provided. I got not provided. I don't know. But if I go to site content and I go to landing pages, this is where they're coming. So it's almost as good as having the keywords. I'm not getting the big number here, but look how many people are searching for this particular listing. Look how many people search for this particular listing.
They're actually searching on the list.
Well, see, this is what I don't know if they're searching, but I know this is where they're coming.
You're landing on. Okay.
Yep,
So
this is
they're landing on listings first before anything else.
But they had to find that listing somewhere, somehow.
Yeah.
Now, then you may have advertised that on Facebook, for all I know.
Oh, I see. Yeah, possibly.
But
Yeah.
we know that people want to come to the particular listing that they want to purchase. This is a good indicator. That show me this one, show me this, show me that, show me this, show me this.
Based
Yep.
on,
Wouldn't we want
based on the listings that are popping up here and knowing when we actually have those as listings, I guarantee that's how those people are coming. They're coming through Facebook.
Right. So that doesn't really help us at this
yeah,
point.
more will probably, Yeah, but if we scroll down to the other results, we'll be able to see what other things are coming on.
Yep, let's keep going. So if you want to scroll down, you can show more rows, right?
And it might be that for quite a while it's been coming on listings.
There's Arcadia Silverleaf. There's Desert Parks Villages.
Uh-huh.
There's DC Ranch Apartments, right, being searched. I bet these are all searched. There's DC, the Country Club, Horseshoe Canyon. Did you advertise these on, there's your blog. See, these, Desert Haciendas, Edmonds Homes. So these are all blog. This is a blog, New DC Ranch Apartment. That's in the blog. The verandas, that's in the blog. The villages at DC Ranch, those are in the blogs. So I'm betting these are all search results.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but we can go to landing pages and get an indication of where people are coming into. It's still not going to tell us everything, but it's telling us a lot.
Yeah.
And then here is one that's exit pages. This is where people leave. So they've come here and left. So they saw what they want and left. They saw what they want and left, saw what they want and left. And so if we see an overwhelming page that is really popular, but people come and leave, we're going to ask ourselves, why do people come and see this and then leave right away? And so if we have a lot of people, and so if I wrote a blog that became very popular and people came, and I knew it was popular, but they also saw that page and left, what I will tell my writers is to go to that blog and tweak it so that now that you're here, you might be interested in this. Now that you're here, go see that, and try and push them around. Because you know it's a high landing, the high landing page and the high exit pages are the same. 95, right? And so if you've got a high landing, if you've got a page that's performing well where people are coming, and what we don't want them to do is leave. So here, this New DC Ranch Apartments, for example, we remember that this was a page where people came in. It's also a page where people leave. Well, let's go to this blog, New DC Ranch Apartments blog. Let's see if we can add something to that to encourage people not to leave.
I see.
Does that make sense? Yeah. So there's lots of links here, but what's important to me is the landing page and the exit page. And then the acquisition, traffic, I'll make sure these numbers grow. And everything else is everything else as far as I'm concerned. And then finally we got conversions, and we don't have any goals, or do we? So you don't have any goals set up. See, a goal is the page where you want people to show up. So on each of your call to actions, you have a call to action. On each page that you write, on each blog that you create, on each listing that you have, here's my call to action. Well, after they fill out that contact form, or after they complete that call to action, or whatever it is you ask them to do, it will open up into a new page. Okay. So thank you for doing that, or thank you for contacting us, or thank you for sending your information. You have a default page where people end up after they filled out the Contact Us form. And you go to admin, and you put that page in there. And then we can know how many people actually went to that page. And then we can track back to find out how they got there. Okay, hold on. So it's worth exploring. Setting up a goal. Here you go to goals. Yeah. So I don't know the answer to that. We can add a new goal. It's called completion of blog Contact Us or whatever, and then we can say here is the kind of goal it is, and then we can add what it is. And so in this way we can know whether people actually showed up. I'm going to back out of here for a moment. Yeah, I might need to go over that again. I was taking notes, and I need to see that again. And see, this is one of my sites. This is all website data. This is Speak on Cruises, and we go to conversions, and I go to goals, and I got my goal URLs, and I can see how many people filled out the Contact Us form, how many people filled out the Hire Us form, and how many people. So I have different result pages depending on the call to action. And in this way, you can begin to test which call to actions are working and which aren't.
But how, show me again how we set that up, or do we need our designer to set that up?
Well, you can fiddle around with it, or you can ask me or Tyler and me to, we'll set it up for you. We just need to know where you want people to end up. So we're going to DC Ranch. We go to conversions. We go to goals. We go to goal URLs. And we go to admin. And then we go goals. So you want to set it up. Here's our new goal. But see, what I need to know is where people are going to end up.
Right.
The destination is usually going to be, you know, a URL, right? So I have to put the URL where I want them to show up. But see, we have not defined that yet.
Yeah, but I mean, like for something like contacting us, I mean that's almost on every single page.
Well, but you're going to have different call to actions or not. And that's okay if you have only one. But you can, you know, over time you can play with this. But what we're really interested in is how many people went to the contact us page and filled it out. And then after they've done that, you know, a dozen times or 100 dozen times, we can go back and track where they came from to get there to do that.
But what I don't understand is, like, if you wanted to make contact, this obviously it makes sense for that to be a goal.
Right.
But we have a contact form at the bottom of every single blog. So
right. And so when that blog is, every blog post, there it is, there's a contact form, they filled it out, and then a URL is going to pop up and say, thank you for filling that out. That's the goal,
so
that's the destination goal.
URL we're trying to track here, not the URL of every page.
No. Hang on. So as soon as they fill that out, hit submit, a page is going to pop up, say thank you. Well, that's going to start showing up here in the goals, in the goal results, right? Okay. Then we can go to those goal results and go backwards to find out which page they clicked on it from. So that's where it becomes useful. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can show you this or not. Let me back out of here. Oops, sorry.
I don't know how, I wouldn't know how to set that up though, like for example the contact URL, because I wouldn't have the thank you URL. I don't know what that is.
Well, see, we'll want to create those for you. See, so one of our biggest exercises here is going to be, you know, getting your call to action down as quickly as we can. So I'm going to see if I can do this. I go to this contact. Okay, I'm not finding what I'm looking for. Okay, I don't want to waste your time. I'll get the, you know, the right way to. I know there's a, there is reverse call path. So I can see there's a contact, and I can see where they were before. This is where they came in, that sort of thing. So this blog professional cruise ship paid Rogers came in and he went to the contact form, he filled it out, and then he showed it up. And so these just aren't that clear. But what we can do is we can clarify them. And so what will happen, you'll have a thank you for contact thank you. And then the previous step is going to be blog page, wherever they were at.
Right.
And so we'll be able to track which blog posts are performing the best.
Ah, okay.
And then which call to action, if we have a variety of call to actions, we'll be able to track which call to actions are performing the best.
Do you think there would be a way we could track how people like decide to call us, or if they decide to call us?
Yep. So if you have a call us, and they click the button to get the phone number to call you, for example, and you'll get a here's the phone number. That'll be your goal. That'll be your goal URL. Now, whether they call or not, we won't know that.
Right. So the fact that we're putting our phone number at the bottom inside every blog is maybe not a good idea.
No, I don't think it's a good idea, because then you got two options. They won't know which one to do. You know, some of your blog posts are going to lend themselves to call me now. You know, this listing is, you know, is under the radar or something, and we're only sending it to certain people. If you don't call me before this date, you don't get to go on the trip to see the house or whatever.
Right.
And so call us now. You know, these guys just put their $4 million house, and they're only going to let the first 10 people I bring in there see them. So if you don't call me, you can't go. That's a call me up now. You know, the other ones are going to be contact us for more information, or contact us to give you a user's guide or a buyer's guide or a lender's or a seller's guide. So they lend themselves to different call to actions. But that's got to be one of the most important exercises we do is, now that we're here, what do we want them to do?
Right.
But a goal URL, establishing goals is useful because it tells us how we're converting. Right? And we don't have any set up there. So at some point, very quickly, you will want to say, we want to start creating thank you pages. And that's, I haven't looked at your contact us form, but we'd go through those contact us forms, and once they're completed, what happens to them?
Right.
There needs to be in your dashboard, your contact us forms widget or whatever you're using, there's going to be a thank you for filling this out. We'll be in touch soon or some such page. Well, we want to know what those pages are and where they're coming from.
Right.
That make sense?
Yeah, totally.
And then we can start seeing this. Then we can start. It's really. We have nothing. I have nothing to look at, but see goal flow and reverse goal path, how they got to where they went. Those are all important stuff. And the rest of this is all stuff. We don't need that. So conversions. That's what we're looking for. Goal fulfillment. Behavior. We're looking at site content and where people are landing and where people are leaving. Those are important. And then in acquisition, we want to know where people are coming from. Is it organic or are we paying for it? And then keywords, we can get an idea of what words people are using. That's about it.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to discourage you from flipping through all these buttons because we get bogged down analyzing everything, and what we ought to be doing is writing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is actually it's a lot simpler than I thought it was.
It is simple.
So that's really good.
That's why they call it analytics. There's stuff to analyze here.
Yeah. Huh.
Okay, one more time. I totally want you to pay that $150,000.
Yeah, right. It'd be very interesting to know that word, but
I really think it's DC Ranch Real Estate.
Yeah, it's going to be something like that. It's not going to be anything that.
Funny that nothing else is real estate. You would think it's got to be something real estate.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you ask your gut, you'll know the answer. If you ask my gut, you'll get a louder answer. I got a bigger one. Anyway, that's it. Anything else I can tell you?
No. So, so as we go forward here in the next few days, designing our site, do you have any pearls of wisdom for us?
Yes.
Awesome. I knew you would.
Call to action. Get the call to actions down.
Okay.
So while we're designing the sites, we can know how to implement those call to actions, whether they're buttons or contact us forms or something else.
Okay.
Because we want the buttons to appear clear. And I tell you, a simple, clean call to contact us form. Give us your name, give us your phone number, give us your email. We'll be in touch. And then a fulfillment, once that's done, we want that to show up somewhere so that we can start tracking those.
Yeah.
And everything else is everything else to me.
Okay.
And if we can get those, and we can still change it, but we want to have something to start with.
Right.
Otherwise, we have nothing to compare it to. So, today or tomorrow, say, okay, Tyler, this is what I want, and this is my call to action. These are my contact forms. It's going to be this simple with these 3 lines: name, phone number, email, and comment.
Yeah.
Nothing else. And then we need a fulfillment page once those are filled out.
Right.
And so then we can start implementing that into your Google Analytics.
Right.
And if we can, I'd really like to do that before I leave next week. I'm leaving next week. As you remember, I'm going to Singapore. I leave next Wednesday or Thursday, I think, and I won't be back for 10, 12 days. I'll still be online, but I'll be in a different time zone, and I'll be slow and all that stuff.
We're hoping to have what we want to put together by Friday for Tyler, because I actually leave Monday for Hawaii for a week.
Okay, well, you could put the call to actions on the existing site while he's building the new one.
Yeah, true.
Nothing is more important than getting people there. The next most important thing is getting them to do something when they're there.
Right.
So, I want to encourage you to, let's get that clarified as quickly as possible.
Do you think a contact form is stronger than a button?
Well, because what are you going to do when you push a button? They're going to send them to a contact form.
Right, exactly. So you might as
So,
well just have a contact.
Exactly. Otherwise, we're just telling them to go here, now do what you could have done there.
Right.
But you want to make that contact form as painless for people to fill in as possible.
Yeah.
It looks like a comment form, but we just need, give us your first name or whatever. We don't care. Make up a name. Name, phone number. You can make the phone number optional for that matter. Name,
Yes.
phone number, but you need to have somewhere way to follow up.
Yeah.
So people might be reluctant to give the phone number, so make that form optional. Say, here's your email address, and we will contact you within 12 hours or something.
Yeah. We've always had a philosophy that when people fill out our existing contact forms, if they give an email and a phone number, then they're really serious. If they just
Exactly.
give an email, it's hard to know.
So let's get something and start putting it on your existing pages now.
Yeah.
So he can still fiddle with the look. That's going to take a week, and there's going to be iterations and back and forth. It's going to be 3 weeks before you all make up your mind. Oh, I like this.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, we've lost a lot of good information.
Right.
So
Yeah.
contact form and fulfillment page. Let's make up what that is, and then get your bloggers to start throwing them in there on as many pages as you can.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Awesome.
All right, I'm going to hit the stop recording button.